let's take a look at the rhythm plugin. We just jump right into it. For the circle mode, auto is basically taking a section of the visual scene auto mode. I have set up in the project so far. Let's take a look at them. So the first thing we'll be doing when we open the plugin is to set up the buttons. Each button will have an identifier, which is basically the key you would use to press for that button. And then you'll have the graphic. So in the rhythm plugin with the demo project folder, I actually have a folder for these assets which you could download from the demo, which you can use from the demo itself. It's free to use. I just use a blank icon and made it. After that, this is the whole color we was using, because as you've seen for single mode, some of the gauges on them had a blue extended bar. The color came from here, and the length was like 9 pixels per frame you had to hold the button for. And yeah, if you want to keep the project alive while the game is inactive, you can select true for here. This will keep the game always running. You may not want to have this always alive in the event it may be a bit resource intensive on these computer systems you're running the project on. And this do not destroy. It has some plugins that may have issue with the graphics being destroyed or running the destroy function on the graphic, so you may want to leave this as false and it will try to remove the graphic with as little interference as possible. in the game configurations. You just take a look at single and auto. You don't really have to look at anything else really. So for single, we have an event that you can run on end. For all these game modes, we basically have, well, not for double, well, actually, yeah, for double as well. Auto mainly and single. We have an end event. And this end event was the score you're showing at the end, where derby, doipi, or whatever it is, and then your score. So for single, we have a position where you could position the score sprite. This was the little monster graphic you're seeing in the corner. We actually have a position for the monster graphic. This is the general background. This is really a background for the score sprite. Then you have the offset on the graphic itself. So this will be like 165 from the top left of the graphic and 175 from the top left of the graphic. This is the font size, the font face, and text color, outline size, those kind of niceness. Set that up as you want. We have a battle BGM you can use. Unfortunately, we currently set the pan, the pitch, and everything in here, so you have to kind of eyeball it from here. We have pop-ups. You can set multiple pop-ups. Each of these pop-ups will play randomly. So if you got perfect input, it will randomly select one of these two to play. If you got bad pop-up, it will select one of these two to play. And if you do like okay, like partially in the valid area, it will play like dog, cat, chicken, one of those two. The game speed refers to how fast the buttons are sliding on the gauge towards the okay or the valid area. You have an input buffer, lazy time, like the number of frames before or after you hit the perfect area. Basically, if you set a larger buffer, you'll have more leeway for the player to get a perfect input. This is for auto mode. This is how long it will take for the game to before the game starts up, and that's only if you do not use the start buffer sound effect, in which case I set bell. We have a start buffer play count. For now it has played 4 times, so if you want to play 3 times you have set this to 2, but I like the 4 so far. The color, if you want to set like a custom graphic for the and frame count for the hold compared to, well, can you see that from here, compared to these 2 parameters from before, you could do that. You could set up multiple rails. For example, in this mode we only have 1 rail. You can set custom backgrounds for each rail. For the foreground, this is the valid area, this is moved to the right, and buttons will be spawned to the left of the gauge background. They'll spawn here and the valid area will be on the right here. So this foreground is spawned on the right of this graphic and the button will spawn on the left of the graphic. You do not need to set these if you're using auto mode, but if you do, well, you'll need to set it. This X and Y is the screen position, you have a rotation, and you have to set the button for the reel. Or if you have a custom button you want to use, you can just type the name of the button here, not A, B, or V, or wherever it is. You have to type the name, the RPG Maker designated name for that button. And yeah, you can set a battle skill here, but no. For the tactical battle system, this doesn't really apply as yet. And we can run functions every time, well, as per update cycle. Say like you want to log something, like console.log bread, and in the console you'll just see bread starting to print out all the time. How are you going to use that? Since we're not going to be using auto, we don't really look at these here. We also, though, you can set the score for perfect input for the button and the maximum hold score for the button. But that's about it. Yeah. And for auto, well, same as above, but this time we want to make sure auto setup is true. We want to, well, it'll be better use a start buffer sound effect so that it could get time for the sound or the audio to process, and the longer the buffer play, the better it will be for efficiency. But you don't really need this as opposed to the last version in which the button, it would take like 60 frames and then analyze that 60 frames and then take our next 60 frames, analyze that 60 frames. It would be very efficient. But this one, it doesn't do that. It does it in real time. And let's see. We have the rail, the auto rail. Right. You can set like a section of the wave. Say like it have, you know, in some amplitudes you have like multiple waves. The waves will be kind of like a up, down, left, right, and kind of thing. Not left, right, but kind of up, down. Based on how long the song playing, a section of the wave will just shoot up and then go back down if the song gets quiet. Right, you could set like a certain section of that wave right here. Say the start will be like from the left, and the end will be from the left. It will end at 400. Alright, and you can leave these values as is. There's the press threshold. That is, if the press time past 60 frames, it will count it as a press and hold. And if it's at 6 frames, it will count it as a trigger hold. Or trigger. It's a press and hold. This auto threshold refers to the like say the song will have an amplitude value, an average amplitude value, and if the real amplitude, the section or the real chosen, exceeds that amplitude by this set value here, which is 30, it will start button creation. Okay, and yeah. And as you saw before, we play tested that and we saw how it worked. So let's take a look at the tactical batch system. Tactical batch system. Alright, so in the tactical batch system, I have the plugin set up here. It should be loaded after the tactical batch system because it inherits data from the tactical batch system for use. I didn't really update the version number on this one as I was using it during testing, but that's not really important right now. So for this, we have auto setup. I didn't really change any UI or anything. It's just to show that it's working. If you want to change the UI and such, remember you could go in here, go in there, and then just change like the score sprite positioning. You could change the real position and whatever else you want to change, but they just mainly to show that it's working with the tactical batch system. Start, hit attack. problems. The first thing we want to do is have a graphic show up on this event here when the thing is playing. So we'll go here, go back to Syn Rhythm. No, not rhythm. We want to go into the tactical batch system itself. We want to go into the configuration to attack. Animation type is on the target. Alright. Yes. Good. Since we're on the target, save to database. And for attack, we actually want to set an attack. So hit nice. Okay. Okay. Start attack. That's pretty much it. You might want to set a cooldown on the button spawn so that it won't be spawning as fast. You can do this in Syn Rhythm. Go in game configurations. Since when you have auto here, we'll have auto spawn cooldown. Currently it's at 0. You can set this to 60 frames. That way you'll have at least a second before each button spawns again. And be such a nightmare of a challenge. Start attack. Cool. And that's about it for the Rhythm plugin. That's the most recent update. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Like and subscribe.